Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning into Network Live TV, where we're going to talk about how to increase your networking efforts locally, nationally, or internationally, as well as discuss things that will help you up your game online. We are here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern. I am your host, Sabrina Watson, founder of NetworkLiveVirtually.com, where you can grow your business through creating live virtual relationships all over the globe. Our meeting and membership are totally free, so don't miss your chance to network and build relationships with amazing people. I want to make sure that our audience knows that we are looking for people who are absolutely serious about building their brand and their business while establishing their authority and creating a larger circle of influence to become hosts with us on NetworkLiveVirtually.com. So if you are interested in building your brand and business, talk to me. I want to tell you about the benefits of joining us at NetworkLiveVirtually.com. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we just network with people. We try to introduce you to people from all over the world in all walks of life and all types of professions. Every Friday, my co-host is Miss Wendy Manganero. She is the founder of Social Abundance Marketing. She helps frustrated, I get my words all backwards. She helps frustrated, heart-centered entrepreneurs attract, resonate, and engage with their social media community so that they can feel more productive and stress-free. Before Wendy started coaching, she was a social media strategist for such companies as Baby's Badass Burgers and Source for Teachers. Currently, she enjoys working with entrepreneurs and businesses nationally and internationally. As a natural problem solver and people connector, Wendy's clients can expect a fresh perspective on their social media strategy and implementation. And she's going to share where you can reach her at. And I can tell you for sure that she will give you a fresh perspective because I am a client. And your bonuses are just amazing, but you've given me way too much work, Wendy. Good morning, Steve. What are you doing?
Good morning. Oh, the typical day, on the phone nonstop.
Awesome. Well, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Wendy and I, or myself and one of my co-hosts, are right here live on Blab, just doing introductions to people, talking about who they are, what they do, and how people can find them. So we're so excited to have you join us today. I just introduced my co-host, Wendy Manganero. Did you happen to hear that?
I was listening the entire time. Very nice to meet you, Wendy.
She's an amazing social media coach. So, Steve, I've got the recording going. So tell everybody who you are and what you do, and then we'll chat about that a little bit. And I believe Michael Mann's going to join us as well. So
okay. Well, I've got Susie right here next to me also, just to make you aware.
Good morning, everyone.
Awesome. Good morning, Susie.
Hi.
Okay. We are Rapport 24/7. We are a video digital marketing platform where we take all the tech out of the process for businesses to create unlimited short videos. And then right from our platform, within minutes of taking the videos, they can create social media marketing campaigns with those videos. They can do whatever they want, place them on their website. A very unique platform that we have, very simple, easy to use. And again, driving messages through video rather than solely through text. That's the whole premise of our platform.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, Steve, do you have a Facebook page?
Absolutely.
I'm looking for it.
You're talking about the business Facebook page? Or
yeah, business Facebook page.
Hold on, I'll send that to you.
Just put that link right there.
Okay, let me get that.
I was going to post that in our extra seat while you were talking, but somehow I can't find it. I don't know what I did. I typed in your Rapport 20. Oh, I typed it in the wrong spot. That's what happens when you type in the
I've got
URL.
I've got it.
So, Wendy, I got to tell you, he's got this amazing platform that I'm just working with right now. And so, Steve, I don't know if I guess are you always able to, in layman's terms, tell everybody what that is? Let's talk about that for a minute. So he's got a platform where you can send an invitation to somebody to give you a live video testimonial.
Yeah.
Explain exactly how that works, but explain that in easy, simple terms for the people that are watching.
Okay. You know, we're all the time, we're asking people to give us testimonials. The strength of our platform is the fact that you can do it in the moment when you're with the client, and you're only asking them to give you 30 seconds to a minute. However, for those opportunities that exist where you want to reach out to clients that you've worked with in the past, then we have an ability within our platform to send out an invitation, and the invitation simply goes out where you say, Wendy, great working with you. I know we had a fantastic results with our campaigns that we were doing, and what I'd like you to do is just give us about 30-second testimonial telling us how wonderful it was to get the results that you did in working with us. So you put that message in the invitation, and there's a link embedded in the invitation. When they get this message now, they simply, and we always encourage people to add in there, and you brought this up the other day, Sabrina, to add in there, this message is best opened up on your phone, because what they do is when they touch that link, it automatically accesses their native camera on their phone. And it has instructions for them on what they need to do. And in under 1 to 2 minutes, they can quickly create a video testimonial, and it's saved not to their phone, not to an email. It's saved directly on your management page on our platform. So there's no effort on the part of the person you're asking for the video to do anything more than simply record, and that's it. And so it's a very simple process.
So Wendy, when you get this email, the end user, this is how simple it is. So you get, you know how you're checking your email on your phone. You click on the email, and I'm asking you for a video testimonial. Here's the link. You click on the link, and the app, and it forces you to turn your phone sideways, correct?
On the app, yeah.
Okay, if you have the app downloaded, so we should probably recommend they download the app.
Well, this is the thing. If they download the app, then you have to issue them login credentials. The strength of the invitation is that with the simple instructions to hold the phone when you're recording in the landscape position, and we visually show them the example of that in the email. So it's very simple and straightforward. The strength is not to have them have to do anything extra. You ask people to download apps, log in, do this, do that. Your chances of getting a response go down for each extra step for them to take. And so the strength of the invitation is all they have to do is touch the link, press record, press save, and they're done.
Now, when you do it like that, do they still have the what do you call the wording when you coach them? I can't think. My brain is dead.
That's the script or the guide. The video script. No, because you can't create that within the environment of a web design.
Okay.
That's strictly something that's custom within the app. What she's talking about, Wendy, is on our app, we actually have, and it stays up the entire time during recording, a video script. So if like when I do,
it's not like a teleprompter.
Yeah, it's a teleprompter is what it is, and it's scrollable for longer scripts and everything else. A lot of times we have people that use them for when they're creating a series of video infomercials that they want to pump out over 1 or 2 weeks. They'll put their bullet points in there so it's more conversational, and they'll just run through it. And I've sat down and done 4, 5, 6 video infomercials in 30 minutes and used them in campaigns, and they work fantastic. And what's nice is that they're more organic looking. They're not that studio setting produced type of thing. They're just believable, because if I say a word wrong, I say, whoops, let me say that correct, and it comes across as more authentic. So that's what the whole purpose is.
So in fact, go ahead, Wendy.
No, I like the idea of that, because that's usually well, everything's too techy out there for most people. It's a huge issue is to get over the technophobe piece of it. So that's a really, really, really big deal.
Well, every time we make it, in fact, we just did a major push on our platform overnight. And so, by the way, Sabrina, there are some things I need to go over with you that have changed.
Oh, cool.
Okay. The first thing I'd recommend is that you log out and log back into the app, because in order to get things updated, you're going to have to do that. But getting back to what I was going to say is that anytime we make any change to our platform, one of the major questions we ask is this going to require too much technical skill on the part of our subscriber? And if the answer is yes, we go back to the drawing board and try to make it non-tech, because the whole point behind our platform, we have people make recommendations all the time, especially people with highly technical skills. And we say that's not what we can do to our platform, because this has to appeal to someone that all they know how to do is use their cell phone and record a video. That has to work for them, and that's all they can do. For someone that all they can do is manage a keyboard, our software on our management app has to be easy enough for those people that know nothing else beyond using the keyboard. They can actually work with the platform. And so we've kept it extremely, extremely simple.
So I see that you're kind of, are you steering a little bit away from the app, Steve?
No.
Okay.
The app.
The app is the strong part. Our whole system is two very strong pieces: the app and then the management console. So
okay.
It's all one.
You can imagine the app is really more for a business's internal use by the owner, by the employees, and giving them access to use the app so that they can have it on their phone, and they can randomly, when opportunities exist, they can record videos. And we always tell people, encourage your team to constantly be putting videos up, because they don't go anywhere until you view them and decide to use them. But the more content you can get, the chances are that it's going to be usable content. And the more they become familiar with the platform and get comfortable with it, the better the quality of the videos gets. And so the video app is really designed more for internal use and for field use. We have a lot of field technicians out there using it, plumbers, AC technicians, things like that, because with the app, you don't have to upload every video as you go along. You can stack them throughout the day, and at the end of the day, when you're back at the office or home and you've got a Wi-Fi signal, now you upload where you don't have bandwidth issues. And so it's a quick, easy way to just keep moving.
And Steve, you have a plug-in for your product. So once a video is approved, it automatically just goes right on your website. Right. Your testimonials.
Once you approve it for public viewing, then if you're using one of our plugins for WordPress, Joomla, or Drupal, or our straight-out coded APIs, it'll automatically place the videos on a dedicated page on your website.
Awesome, Steve. Hey, Steve, thanks so much for stopping by. I want to get Mr. John Morris in here also, so I hope you'll hang out for a few minutes, because I do want you to hear all about Michael Mann. So I think that might be a good connection for you. Also, you do have an affiliate opportunity and you have resale opportunities, right?
Correct. We have both. Affiliate is a one and done type thing. You basically sell the individual on the concept, and then we take it from there, do all the onboarding and all the training and everything else. The reseller, it's a one-time payout. The reseller program is where you actually onboard and co-manage the platform with the subscriber. You get a monthly recurring revenue out of that relationship, so that you're getting that ongoing every month. And so nice way to build that recurring revenue stream. Most resellers that we have will take whatever the subscription price is. We bill them a discounted price for that. And then based on the relationship of how they're co-managing the account, they'll determine what they need to charge the client for that part that they're managing.
Okay. So Michael, the reason that I wanted him to tell you that is because I think this might be an amazing tool that we could be offering to those people that we're building websites for. So Steve, I'm going to ask you, I want to talk about that with you, Michael, but I want to ask Steve to vacate this seat because I want to get Mr. Morris in here. I hope that you hang around and that I can connect you and Michael as well, because I do want to point this out to Michael, man. Thanks for joining us, Steve. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
He's laughing, Mr. Morris. So Michael, man, would you please be so kind as to tell us who you are and what you do? And the reason that I wanted you to hear about Steve Santersola is that I think that this might be an amazing opportunity for us, you and I, because we both build websites, to offer an additional product to the people that we build sites for, that also allows us to make some money. Go ahead, Michael, introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, what you do. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm Michael Mann. I'm a professional web developer. I've been doing this for 18 years now. Actually, getting ready to start my 19th year in August. Well, I don't know where the time has flown. And I've had the opportunity to work with clients pretty much across the globe. I think I still have 2 continents I don't have worked with someone on. That's Antarctica and South America. And I'm working on South America, so hopefully that will come off the list. Will be added to the list of completed soon. And I'm also transitioning over to teaching people how to build their own websites. Because, Sabrina and I both do web design. And a lot of times there are simple things that a client can actually be able to manage themselves, especially if they're using a platform like WordPress. Mm-hmm. Teach them how to get in and add a post, add a page, things like that. Beautiful.
Yes, and I think they really want that little bit of an element of control. And I think that people get so upset when they can't do anything in their website. So that's something that I also offer with website design, is I offer some training time to go with their package so they can actually get in there and do that. I think that's really awesome for client retention. But I also was thinking that with Steve's platform, to be able to offer those automatic uploads of their video testimonials would be just a crazy, amazing product.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, keep hearing all these video professionals talking about how there's 60-70% higher conversion on a website if they're video. I mean, why wouldn't you have video on your website if it's going to help you to convert, faster? Not only that, but with testimonials, if you're going to a website and you're seeing text-based testimonials, who are these people? We don't know who these people are. They could, the site owner could have just went and wrote a whole bunch of testimonials and threw them on the website. But if you go there and you see a person, you can identify, okay, that person is real. Now, they could have still hired some people and created some testimonials, but there's much less likelihood that that's what's going on. There's probably someone who's actually legitimately have used their product or services and is willing to tell you that they enjoyed the product or the service that they offered.
Well, I got to tell you that that is one of the super cool things about Steve's. It's because it's spontaneous from your phone in the moment. So you can tell that it's not scripted, it's not in a studio, and his video testimonials are just amazing. So I just want to, I'm going to let my co-host Wendy Manganero take over, but I just want to real quickly remind everybody that the reason we're here is to introduce you to networklivevirtually.com. Please feel free to come over and join our virtual networking groups. We have, I'm not even sure how many a week running right now. I get confused with the days and the times. So I have just posted the events calendar in there. So if you would like to be able to go into a room similarly to Blab, only everybody gets to be seen. We do a short business type presentation, a round robin of introductions, getting to knowing each other and exchanging contact information with people all over the world. We've got about a dozen countries that we have users in currently and about 1,000 registered users. Membership at this point in time is free. So we just want to remind everybody to join us. Go ahead, Miss Wendy.
Hey, okay, now I won't be quiet anymore. All right, so I just want to say, I think the platform idea for testimonial video is probably just absolutely ingenious because, as you said, Michael, my biggest problem is that you go to websites and people don't exist. And I actually prefer getting recommendations on LinkedIn and then actually putting the link of LinkedIn recommendation on my website only for that reason, because I want to show that real people have said what they said. And at least I have a profile to go behind that. So I do like that. I want to take a minute and introduce John, and Kat's on the line, and I want to thank Kat because she introduced me to John, and now we're all friends together. Isn't this great? Okay, anyway. And now
you gotta love it.
On to Sabrina. So here we go. But John is from Scotland. I got this right? Yes, Scotland. Yep. And he painter, and he commissions work across the world, and it is amazing. And I saw your video yesterday and decided I need to get my son done. So we'll talk about that at another time. Anyway, I'm like, whoa, I got to get that one painting of my son and dog together. Done. So I'm really excited to introduce him, and I have a hour-long blab show that's starting on the 9th, and I want to invite everybody to that because my first guest is Nitika Washington, and she works for the Secretary of Defense. I'm so excited, and she is a queen. Cool. Got that job out of 10 years in the Army, networking with the higher-ups. So I'm really, really excited to have her on. And John's going to be a guest, and Sabrina's going to be a guest. And I sent something to Kat. I think she's supposed to be a guest too. So everybody's going to be a guest. Anyway, so really, really excited about this. But I wanted to introduce John, and John can share a little bit about what he does. I don't know. He probably has a painting underneath him somewhere that he's working on, or you're not.
Behind me, that's what I was showing over my shoulder.
Showing, but usually there's been a couple times that he's painting and talking at the same time, and you don't even know it.
Yeah. Well, actually, as I'm talking to you guys now, I've actually just walked away from finishing. I've been working on cards as well, and I'm currently networking with about 15 different sites and things that are going on as well. So I keep busy.
How are you networking with 15 different sites? Explain to us how that works.
Primarily, the way I use networking for me is via Facebook. I find it to be the best way to get in touch with people, get them to see my work, the fastest way of doing it. I've heard some of the stuff that you guys were saying. I always go with the testimonials. And if I can get people to do video testimonials for me, and I shove it into a video on YouTube as well, I'm saying, look, I make a story out of it. We had one a couple of weeks ago, which is on our website at the moment, on how a painting had brought a family back together. And it was just such a wonderful story. And I thought, this is too good an opportunity to just let go. And so many people responded from that. And I find that I get more commissions from that. But my main thing is trying to sell, trying to sell and to put into the hands for people the existing stock, like the mountainscapes, the landscapes, the seascapes, the silhouettes, those kind of things, because that is where my passion is at. But at the end of the day, I've also got to have a bit of come and go with what customers and clients want. And I've been doing this now for about 11 years and probably running business internationally for the last 3 or 4. My second year in business, well, a year and a half really, I ended up doing a tour of the United States back in 2013, which lasted an entire month. It was a tremendous amount of fun. And we've been invited to go back next year and possibly into 2018 as well. But yeah, that's just a little bit of what I do. And Kat has already put it there. She is my business coach. I love her dearly. We've been working together on this project for the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah. And she's literally seen the business go from right at the beginning to now where it's at a fever pitch. We've got momentum, things are going. In August, this is what I'll be doing full time because things are so busy. It's just incredible. All the stuff that's going on. And I thank the clients and the audience and, everyone else that's supported us in doing that. So sounds like I'm trying to win Miss World, doesn't it? I thank the audience. I thank everyone, oh my goodness.
Well, really, really cool. And I didn't know this. But we had this conversation. Oh, my test. John showed up to my test show to make sure that I could successfully use Blab and not look silly. So it all worked out great. But anyway, is that it's so, I can't believe the difference in prices. If he ships here, it's so much cheaper than us shipping to him. Yeah. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Not a little cheaper.
For me, in the United States, it costs something, even at my biggest paintings, you're probably looking maybe $25 to $50 tops.
What? Isn't that crazy? I know.
Yeah.
So it's
if you guys were to ship it over to me, I know it costs something like $150, $200. So, you know, I mean, that's just incredible in itself. And that's even with the, you know, tracked and signed, so as I know exactly where the painting is at all times. Because as we know, the postal service, particularly in Canada, isn't the most reliable.
Postal service and my zip code is not the most reliable. I can't tell you how many lost checks I've gotten over.
Oh yeah,
I've had that.
Wendy's, and thank you on Wednesday. It's amazing that we've still got customers now that had CDs sent out at the beginning of April. I'm also I write and produce my own CDs. I own my own recording studio at home. But we've got people now that are still, even today, getting in touch saying, "Oh, we've just received your CD," and that's, you know, a month and nearly 2 months on. So, snail mail.
Yes, that's why we call it snail mail for sure.
Yeah.
So, John, I wanted to make sure to let everybody know that Steve put his information in there. If you guys, anybody's interested in reaching out to Steve or Susie Santersola for that video platform, they do have affiliate opportunities and they have resale opportunities. So I want to make sure everybody knows that, because I'm absolutely loving what I'm seeing with this platform. I'm liking the fact that I can just send somebody an email. There's a little link they click on, they get on their phone and they just give me a video testimonial. I can go into my panel and approve it, and boom, it goes on my website.
That's it. That's simple.
And another thing that I wanted to point out with Michael Mann is Michael also develops plugins. So let's talk a little bit about that, Michael.
Oh, well, Sabrina was talking to me yesterday about some possible work coming my way. And so I was thinking, what can I do with this? And I decided, you know what? She wants to use a contact form. And the design of what she sent me, I said, well, you know what? I don't really want to just use regular radio buttons. Those little round buttons where you click on them and then, you know, they fill in. They just look really, really nasty if you're trying to do something design-wise. So I actually put together a plugin that actually takes and gets rid of that little radio button part and takes the actual text part and makes it into a link. And when you click on it, it changes to a different color. So graphically, it looks a little bit nicer. And that's just really what I like to do, is I like to take and find things that I think are useful either for myself, for my clients, or for other people, and actually put together something that works within WordPress. Because I know for this, for example, I couldn't find anything that was out there that would just do what I wanted to do, and either free or paid. So I just said the heck with it. I found a tutorial. It kind of walked me through it, but didn't quite have all the steps. I filled in the rest, and 4 or 5 hours later, I now have a new plugin that I can play around with.
Awesome.
Also, tell us a little bit, John. I saw you just posted in the chat. Also, tell us about your paintings and what you do, and so we can get it on the recording as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, literally, as the text says, I can paint. Thanks be to God, I'm able to paint basically anything that the customer can come up with. Whether or not for the last 11 years, I've also studied a lot in psychology as well, just of people, just in general, and picked up a lot, and I'm able to read a client fairly well, usually after maybe 1 or 2 conversations with them. So when they're trying to describe something to me and saying, you know, I want a seascape with a unicorn flying in the sky and fairies flying around all over the place, oh, Wendy, you would be surprised at some of the things we get. Oh my God. But honestly, I sit there and I think about it, and I use a program called GIMP. It's like Photoshop. I'm sure you guys have heard of it before.
Oh, Michael Mann knows it.
Yeah, Michael, you know all about that. Yeah, I like it. It's nice and simple to use, and it works for me. So basically, I just fire stuff in there, and I'm like, is this roughly what you're thinking? Like, my goodness, that's absolutely spot on. I actually like when people come to me, though, just with a standard photo, and they can say, can you combine X, Y, Z into this photo, into a painting? I say, yeah. It depends a lot, obviously, on the light and the shading. But my main thing, and I suppose my main service, is trying to do the very best I can for the client, to put together work and to paint work that I want to put my name on. And now, I mean, you know, there's some customers that still, even to this day, send me the most blurry old black and white photos that are faded, that have been fire damaged and water damaged, and say, can you do something with this? I said, No. I can still aware, that's about it. Yes, I mean, all that kind of thing. I love having fun with that. And that's really what has been the basis to help build up the website, which again, the link is there and you can check out the stuff yourselves. And it's just, I look at some of the commissions now and the things that I'm getting in, and I think this is going to be something special. There are times that you look at it and think this may not be something special. In fact, it may be a nightmare, but more often than not, thankfully, I look at it and I'm like, this is really exciting to do. So yeah. Any questions? As I say, I'm here for a few minutes, so fire on my way, and I'll try and answer.
I have one for both of you. So first, I'm going to go back to Michael for a second. It's kind of the same question, but in your question, what's the?
You got feedback, Wendy.
Oh man, is it gone? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It was because I was sitting too far away. Didn't like it. Anyway, Michael, what's the strangest plugin you've been asked to?
Oh, I don't know if we should answer.
I know. Keep it family, Michael. Family friendly.
I would have to say this, probably for me, I haven't been asked to create a whole lot of plugins, but probably the strangest one I've had was for Next Gen, which is the image gallery, and they basically didn't want to take and use the short code on their page. So they had me create a plugin that used the short code that generated another short code, which I was like, why didn't you just take the 2 seconds and copy and paste this? And but they paid me for it, so I didn't mind.
That's different. Okay. And so, John, what's the strangest commission you've had?
The one, well,
doozies.
Oh yeah, the one that comes to my mind instantly that I never did, have to stress that, and why? Oh, why? Honestly, I honestly think someone was playing a trick on me or a rib or something that day, because the guy had emailed me, said, I've got a photo that I want to do of me and my wife, so I'm thinking, okay, this could be something good. And then he sends me the photo, and it's basically him in his underpants and his wife in their underpants, and he's covering her chest with the hands. And all that I can remember, and I don't ask me why I remember this, but all I remember is they were the most off-white, grey-looking, ugly underpants I've ever seen in my life. And I thought, why are you asking me to do this? What's wrong with you? Yeah. That's the one I remember the most. And Sabrina's face does it all. It's just like, I'm not impressed.
No, that wasn't at all. I was looking at something else.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's kind of how I felt inside when I got sent that photo. Oh, dear. Yeah. I like now having the freedom to be able to pick and choose what I paint. So
that's some craziness right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But people... The weird thing is people nowadays just seem to be very open with what they're going to share with you, specifically online and particularly online. And it's concerning, like really concerning. And I'm thinking, if I was visiting you, I almost guarantee you, I mean, if they asked me to do a live painting of that, I think I'd demand a sick bucket. But it's like, what are you thinking with some of these things? But yeah.
So, you know what, do you kind of think that it's reached a point where it's a little bit much?
In terms of the content?
What people are willing to put on Facebook and other places?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, the amount of indecent exposure now, and I know, I mean, it's a heavy topic. It's all over the news and all the stuff that's out there. I'm also a youth worker, so that's something we have to address, because the amount of indecent exposure, again, either from teens or to teens, and it's teaching them how to deal with it, but also teaching them how not to get involved with it. And I think it's just got to a level now where, I mean, every phone like mine, it's got cameras on both sides, and it has its pluses and negatives. You can do live streaming, wonderful. But the problem is, it's what you're live streaming, and it's almost like people have completely lost the whole moral code nowadays. And obviously that isn't for everyone, but that is for, unfortunately, a vast population that Yeah, thank you for that, Cindy. I do appreciate that. Total agreement. It's true, you know. I mean, and again, I've said to people before, and when I'm teaching the youth, when I'm doing seminar, I'm saying, would you share those things if I was sitting in a room with you and it was in front of 20 other people? And the obvious answer is no. I was like, well, why do you feel it's okay to share that with me or with someone else that maybe, you know, 20 miles down the road, maybe another country? You just never know if and when you're going to bump into that person. So nowadays, more than ever, you have got to have a level of accountability to yourself more than anything else, and saying, you know, they may be doing that, but I'm thinking, you know, one of the primary reasons is I don't want something 20 years down the line when, you know, we've made our millions and we've, you know, reached people all over the world, and for some lunatic to come out and say, oh, do you remember when? And that's the fear now about these people, and the teens in particular, because even though you're a teenager, people still remember what you do. And you may be into 50s and 60s. We see that now, obviously, with a lot of the celebrities. You know, they thought they were fine, and all of a sudden it's, oh, do you remember when so-and-so touched me inappropriately? So being careful. Yeah.
So one of the things that I do, and it's actually my 10-year-old who has made me do this, is that I have for the last 3 years offered free courses to parents and teenagers just on social media, and I have a whole thing that I do. And I'll never forget when I first started doing social media, one of the it was like 60% of the kids who started on social media in 20 to 30 years would have to change their names based on what they originally put on social media. And that was 10 years ago. So, and what's really, really interesting is that they don't know how much they really are connected. And so, and they also don't know in the States, and this is different in different countries, but right now, like if you go to get a job at a major corporation, if you go to get a, go to apply for college, each college and each employer has the right to ask for all of your social media passwords. You have the right to not give them to them. But if you don't, then you probably are not going to get into the college or get that job. So that is one of the things and I'm like, because everybody friends everybody and they think it's all great, but I'm like, really, are you minding? Because if somebody opened up your Twitter account and it may not be you, but you're associated with all these people who are doing all of this stuff, it doesn't look great for your new employer, you know, or the college you're trying to get into. So I completely agree.
The whole thing about it as well is that, I mean, I've been, as I said, I've been doing this a long time, but also now I'm almost able to spot people and what their kind of content is going to be based on what their Facebook profile is. Yeah, and that's, you know, and I've tested it numerous times, and my wife will sit down and I can say to her, look, this person is going to have sexual content first post on their page, and the first thing that comes up is that kind of stuff. And the problem is now people are so exposed to everything. It's, you know, I mean, certainly even when I was growing up, you know, it was, you know, this kind of stuff never existed. And then all of a sudden now, you know, 14 and 15-year-olds are exposed to everything. And that's the problem now with virtual networking, is the relationships that are there and everything that's going on. It can be so dangerous. It can be used for so much good. But again, more often than not, unfortunately, it's used for the opposite.
Well, and the other
it's essentially like controlling people.
Too, is that I don't think parents in general, my poor kid, I'm like, he's like, can I just have an Instagram account? I'm like, no, do you know what I do for a living? And so the parents are not paying attention. There are age requirements on every single social site. And if there's not one, that means it's 18. But
Wendy, with that, the problem is, well, you've even got kids now that are 11 and 12 years old pretending to be 13 and 14-year-olds. And that's, you know, that is a major issue. We've got 9-year-olds in primary school that are upset with the parents because they won't let them get a Facebook account.
Well,
what?
Well, and the other thing I've run into this just recently with Twitter is that even though they say that you're supposed to be at least 13 to have an account, if your parent knowingly signs you up for an account, even if you're 6, Twitter won't do anything about that as long as the parent says it's okay. So you know, that goes back to the parents. They, you know,
Yeah.
But on the other side of that too, because I have a lot of parents who are like, well, then I'm not going to let them on it at all. And which is really hard when you stand in front of a room full of parents and you're like, I realize what I do for a living. But on the other side of that, it's a really bad idea not to allow your child on any technology, because they're going to go to school and they're going to see it on everybody else's phone. And now you have no control whatsoever. Because just like Michael, with plugins, you can do plugins for parents and say, okay, this is how, this is the plugin, the parents can see everything that's going on. But if you're allowing your child, because they're not on social media, yes, they are. It's the same thing as companies where they would go like, well, I don't want to be on social media because I don't want people to talk badly about me. I'm like, have you searched the internet? That's not going to change it. If you don't have a profile, you have no control. At least you know what's going out, or you can at least try a little bit more to know what's going out, as opposed to this other side.
Yeah.
I don't think it takes.
I mean, it comes down to the parents as well, because oftentimes, and one of the biggest things. So I'll just say this and then I'll shut up. One of the biggest things that we see is, again, stuff we've taught the parents, stuff we've taught the kids is, do not take photos of your kids in their school uniforms with a logo on, for the simple reason, if you're a prowler, that's the first thing, and you want that, and you know what I'm saying. And that's the reality. And it's, parents are like, oh, really? I never thought of that. And it's like, oh my goodness. And that's the issue. People are not.
One of my colleagues, her baby's daughter's picture was stolen from her face. Somebody shared it. I guess a friend had shared it, and that was fine. But somebody picked it up, and they made a meme of it and sent it. It went viral all over Facebook, Twitter.
They made a what of it?
A meme with the baby's face and whatever it said, and it went viral. And she found it because another friend saw the meme, and Facebook took it down everywhere. Twitter will not, because a rapper picked it up, and because it was somebody famous, they're not taking down the meme, even though they had no. But and that's just, I think that it's really important, just in general, for you to realize that you are always dealing with a third-party site. And that's why it's so important to have your own website and to have your own stuff, because if anytime you deal with a third-party site, you play by their rules, whether it's your personal page, whether it's your business page, whether it's a group. And so you need to know what the rules are. And you may not need to read every single legal, but you better know the basis of what the rules are for each platform before you go on it, about, especially for people like you, John, because you're an artist. And so I'm sure, you want your art out there, but then you don't want it stolen, and you want to,
well, that's why all of this stuff has got, all the stuff is now copyrighted, and it's got our logo on it to protect ourselves. So, and it is important, because people will, it's the same with the music. People have said to me, why don't you stick it up on YouTube? Well, because two reasons. One, because those that have bought the CDs, I don't want them to feel cheated. But the second one is, I don't want people just taking my music.
Right, exactly. Hi, Kat.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, Kat.
I want to say thanks to Michael Mann for joining us. He has graciously vacated his seat for Miss Kat Sturts. Miss Kat, say good morning, hello. Tell everybody who you are, what you do.
Oh, I'm Kat Sturts from rockingyourpath.com, and several of the people in the group here just came from my Fast Action Fridays class.
Totally awesome.
And John is my special guest next week, 10:30 Friday next week.
So I can see.
And so I help home-based business owners, workers, people rock their unique path to success and find ways to make their businesses profitable by following their passions.
And it works as well. I can tell you that.
John's one of my biggest success stories. And when he says I saw him when he started, we took screenshots of some of his early stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You knew him. You're going to get to say, I knew him when.
Well,
and she'd be like, I got to know him.
We met on Facebook in a group, and just, started commenting back and forth, and he ended up coming in as a wonderful private client. And I think we're going on 5 years now.
Something like that, yeah. I think it was the Marketing for Creatives group, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so too. The thing about John, though, is he doesn't sit by and say, I want, or I hope. And he's open to criticism, he's open to suggestions, and he's willing to try and tweak until things work. So he's what you would call one of those ideal clients. I would like 6 more like John. I've got 3. I'd like 6 more like John.
Just a quick reminder for our audience and our replay audience that you can hook up with people like Kat Sturtz and Steve and Michael Mann and Wendy Manganero and so many more at Network Live Virtually. I put the link in for events, so go check out what meetings are happening. Next week, we're done for this week, but there's plenty happening next week. And you can just pop in and join us. We have video and audio just like this, and we exchange contact information. We've had quite a few visitors today. We've had Steve Santersola and Michael Mann, and of course my co-host Wendy Manganero, Kat Sturtz, and John Morris. You guys, if you would all take just a quick moment and put all your contact information again in the chat box. I want to make sure that it's available on our replay. So if somebody would like to reach out to you, they certainly can. Jim O'Brien wants to know, is that the Michael Mann, the producer of Miami Vice? I'm thinking he wishes so.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Cindy said, have we really all been on Facebook that long? And I looked mine up. I came late to Facebook online time, because time's different online than it is at the beach on vacation. Mm-hmm. And I came on 2000. I believe it was February 2009. So
I have to look. I don't know how long I've been on.
Yeah,
I don't know how long I've been on either. Now that you asked that question.
But when I put things in my login book, I put the date I first joined or signed up for something, and it's been really cool to be able to go back and see. Oh, wow, I've been there for ever.
Isn't that terrible? I would do that, but I try so many different things. I try everything. I'm like, all right, I'll try it, and then I'm like,
hey, that's why it's in pencil.
Yeah, that doesn't work. That's not for me. My husband was mad at me because he found Ripple, and I personally don't care for it, but that's just my personal taste. I tried it for a little bit, and I went, this is not for me. My husband was so mad. He's like, you've known about this? And I'm like, seriously? You just like to make memes all day. This does not work. This is not. I was like, I tried it. It was not for me. And he's like, well, I bought it. I was excited. I was like, what do you do with that? It's like making memes. I'm like, that's all you do all day. Oh, God. So.
So, Wendy, tell us a little bit. Well, actually, I want to hear about both your blabs. Let our audience know about our blabs. Wendy, when is yours? And
okay, so
about it.
It's the first real one. Will be on June 9th, and it's called the Love, Light, and Passion Show. Each week, we will have a different guest on for an hour. All of my guests have had to start with an idea that they were passionate about and made it into a successful business. And so I've been running the show. If you want to hear past shows, it's on Blog Talk Radio under Love, Light, and Passion. But I'm switching to the Blab format. And it'll be June 9th as the first one, because it used to air on Thursdays every morning. And then we were switching after that week to Tuesdays at 10 a.m. So it'll be every Tuesday at 10. And I think I'm booked to August already. I don't even know how that happened. My poor VA, I asked her to be on the show, and she said I had to wait till August to even get on.
Oh, that's funny.
So I'm really excited about it because I think the video format will be fantastic. And we'll have everything. We'll have website people. I have coaches coming on who are coaches to how to better be a better parent. I have yoga people coming on. It is definitely a cross industry, but it's all about being passionate, and it's really for entrepreneurs so that they can learn and be creative and see that your passion can get you where you want to go.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome stuff. John, thanks so much for joining us, and I hope to meet you soon. I have sent you a friend request, by the way.
That's brilliant.
I want to thank my co-host for being here, Miss Wendy Manganero, founder of Social Abundance Marketing, who she helps frustrated heart centers entrepreneurs attract, resonate, and engage with their social media community so they can feel more productive and stress-free. Wendy is with me every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern right here on Network Live TV. Our goal is just to network and introduce you to all kinds of fun, cool people and invite you to join us over at networklivevirtually.com. I want to thank my friend Kat Sturtz for stopping by, founder of 56 Vibe Services, rockingyourpath.com, and the Bridges to Success program. She's a certified marketing coach, motivating speaker, and award-winning nonfiction author, practical intuition expert, and innovative business life coach. Thank you, Miss Kat, for stopping by.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you guys, our time is up for the days. Tim, we are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern. All right, you guys, let's say goodbye. I'm going to stop this recording. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great weekend.
Thank
Take care.
you, John.